All right, Jeff Zimmerman here with the champ, WBC welterweight champion of the world out of San Antonio, Texas, Mario Barrios. How you doing, Mario?
I'm doing good, man. Just another day of camp. Uh, yeah, just good.
Another day of camp to get ready for the living legend, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, who you take on Saturday, July 19th. Is it like any other camp?
Yeah, I think I've always treated every camp, like it's my biggest fight to date, regardless of the opponent, and it's been no different for this one. But yeah, it's been long, and yeah, now I'm just a month away, just counting down, and I'm looking sharp. I'm looking. I think everything has just been going the way that we have wanted with this training camp, and so yeah. So when stuff like that happens, you kind of can't ask for anything better. So I have zero complaints. Um, yeah, I'm just ready.
There's a lot of fighters that would have died at the chance to fight a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Now he's in the Hall of Fame, which is crazy to think, right? But he was like the Canelo, the Mayweather of his generation. He was the money fight, Oscar before that, et cetera, et cetera. You're getting that opportunity, and you're like the most soft-spoken guy, world champion in boxing, maybe. Like you're not out there beating your chest, but you're getting these opportunities. When you got the call about fighting Pacquiao, what was your first reaction?
I was I was pretty blown away. Uh, I mean, when the fight was initially brought up to me, it was after my last fight. So that was when I first kind of got word, that Pacquiao was interested in coming out of retirement to fight me for my belt, and I was like, even then, I was like, what the hell? I was just like, okay. I mean, if that's what he wants,
Yeah.
and now, yeah, fast forward to this year. It was around like April. Yeah, April, I believe, is when they told me like, okay, yeah, like they want to go through with this. They're just waiting to see what happens with his election, and then when his election fell through, or I mean, when he wasn't elected, that's when it was like, okay, like this is gonna happen. That's when I was kind of just like, oh shit, like, okay, like right on. Well, I mean, I was staying in the gym, I was staying ready, for whatever was coming up next, and it was just like, okay, like for me, it just it's just another title defense, just another guy in front of me. Like I can't just like be in camp just like, oh, I'm fighting the legend, I'm fighting, I can't gas him up too much, like to myself,
Right.
because then, yeah, it kind of creates like unrealistic like expectations, which at the end of the day, he's just another man in there trying to take what's mine.
Yeah, I know everyone else is gassing him up. He's obviously a fan favorite, and you give him his accolades and everything, but you're there to do a job. Um, but what's interesting is you were in one of the biggest fights last year that doesn't get talked about on the undercard of Paul Tyson, because then you had Taylor Serrano, and you might have been in fight of the night with Abel Ramos. Just that experience being at Cowboy Stadium. I was there covering it. I know you've been in some other big fights, but what was that like?
Oh man, it was it was crazy, honestly. um yeah, like I mean, and I was just like, on the undercard. But I was saying, even before that fight, that mine and Ramos's style had the potential, to easily be fight of the night. And I think, we the fans got, what they paid for with our fight alone. But the whole show, that came with MVP and like that the whole card, it was pretty insane. It was kind of the first time I've like it didn't feel like a boxing fight. It felt like I don't know, kind of like a reality like fight.
Like a video game?
Yeah, yeah, where everything was kind of just like was like really blown up, and I mean, yeah, like the amount of viewers, the amount of attention that fight got, it was a lot. So, but I mean, it was cool regardless. I mean, I'm still very, I'm grateful, to have been able to be on there. on a card that was that big. Yeah, just having that opportunity, to fight on it. It was I think it was a it did nothing but benefit me and my career.
Jeff Zimmerman here with the champ, Mario Barrios. Big fight with Manny Pacquiao coming up. Now, there was some chatter, and I don't see you on social media a lot, Mario, but there's a lot of chatter that you were chosen because you were, quote unquote, the weakest of the 147 pounders. Have you heard that chatter? And what do you say to that? You know, a guy that's moved up and been in there with Thurman, Ugas, dismantled Ugas for that matter. You know, been in big Tank Davis, et cetera. What do you say to that?
Uh, I don't say much, right? uh, I don't know. I mean, people are very strongly opinionated, especially when it comes to the boxing scene, and I don't know. I feel like people are always like, man, you keep getting these big fights, you keep like you're doing really well, blah blah, and I'm just like, I mean, I just stay quiet and work. I'm never like one, too much. Like I don't do too much talking. But I feel like I've had a very successful career. I've been in there with a lot of great fighters, and yeah, I just continue to show up as a fighter, and I have an amazing team behind me. That also help pull all the strings that people don't see. But yeah, I just do my part, which is just staying ready. I just stay quiet and I just work. And so people are still gonna talk, and I just tell them the same thing. They just watch me work. Tune into the fight or don't. Like it's not gonna have a difference. It's not gonna make a difference to me.
Do you still feel under the radar, even as a world champion and been around for so long and underrated for that matter?
I think a little bit, but like I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like it doesn't have any effect on my day.
Right.
So
Let me ask you, man, 147 has always been one of the sweet, weight classes from Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd, did a bunch of stuff. And it comes and goes, the flavor, the weight class of the week or what have you. A lot of big news going around 147. You had Brian Norman's, impressive performance in Japan, probably knockout of the year. I don't know if you saw that at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
I did
or
see it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then you got Boots Ennis moving up to 154. What is your take on that? And if you win, are you looking to unify with Brian?
Yeah. Yeah, you got like Boots moving up down. I still believe, that is a fight, that is it could, and I think, there's a good possibility it will happen. Um, I mean, because for me too, it's only a matter of time before I go up to 54.
Hmm.
But as of right now, just my focus is on the welterweight division. But yeah, I'm 6 foot. I'm making 147, and right now, I mean, we're still doing it comfortably. But I'm 30 years old, so like I said, I feel like it's only a matter of time before the super welterweight division sees me also. Um, yeah, but Brian Norman though he did have a sensational knockout over there in Japan. Congrats to him. It was like, yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be at least like on the campaign, or for knockout of the year, right? Given what happens the rest of this year. Um, but yeah, no, the goal still remains the same. Just like, I mean, I have a big task in front of me right now. I have a legend I have to defend against, and given I'm successful with that, gonna make sure that I do whatever I can, to be successful. Then it's like, yeah, like then we're gonna move on, and of course, the goal still remains the same. Fight the best, unify the titles, and just keep on bringing exciting fights, to the boxing world.
How big of a mistake is Manny, one, coming out of retirement, and two, facing you? And is your goal to put him back in retirement? And what is it going to take to win? What is it going to take to beat the legend?
I think it's just gonna be just I I just got to be me. I just got to use my attributes. I got to use my youth. I got to use my um just I have to use everything, come fight night, because again, I'm not expecting an easy fight, regardless of Manny's age. Like I've been saying to everybody, I'm preparing, as if I'm fighting a prime Pacquiao, and yeah, I think like I think everything I'm working on, in the gym with Bob Santos, Richard Barrientos, I think we're gonna be successful, because right now I'm looking on point, and yeah, I'm just excited and just like again, just patiently waiting for July 19th.
Yeah, and we'll wrap up here in a second here with the champ, Jeff Zimmerman, Mario Barrios. Um, you're from San Antonio. You got another kid out of San Antonio who's fighting that same night. I just talked to him here in Frisco, where I live, outside of Dallas. He was out here a few weeks ago. How cool is it to have another world champion and you're both headlining major cards, one in the home state of Texas and one like yourself in Vegas against Manny?
Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome. I tell people all the time, man. I mean, me and Bam, we grew up together, boxing in San Antonio. We trained together for uh a lot of years when we were kids, and man, I'm so proud of everything like he's accomplishing right now. And in and out of the ring, right? I always make sure to mention that. Because man, Bam, he's always been a sensational fighter. Since we were kids, he was always just doing like he was doing something different in his fights at a very young age. All those angles and everything he throws, people don't even realize like he's been doing that shit since we were in the amateurs, and
Mm,
that's like way before it's even appreciated. Right, because you're in the amateurs, it's more just about scoring. So yeah, man, Bam has always been special. I'm super like happy and I'm super proud of him. Yeah, I have no doubt, he's gonna, take another title back to San Antonio. And yeah, it's a really good feeling, to see him. And even when his brother Josh was fighting,
mm.
to see them, at that level, being successful, and then just being successful in life, because like I always, bring it to everyone's attention. Like Bam's a father now, he's a great father. I'm a dad too, and so it's like it's those things that's bigger than boxing. That really I'm like hell yeah, like that's my dude. But nah, yeah, Bam is my guy, and I'm like again, I'm gonna be trying to keep like stay up to date as much as I can with his fight also come fight night.
Right. It's crazy that both fights are the same night. And San Antonio is such a fight town. I've been in Texas 25 years, covered a lot of fights out there, including Manny Pacquiao. And we'll wrap it up here. I asked Bam, what is something about San Antonio that the average person doesn't know? There's Fiesta, there's the Riverwalk. I'll tell you what he said, but tell me something that people don't know about it.
Something that people don't know about San Antonio. Oh, I don't know. Like I can't put it just like a word to it, but San Antonio is raza as fuck. Like what that means is just like right, like we're got a lot of proud brown people that stick together in San Antonio, and yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but man, we got a lot of talent, in sports, in music, and just I feel like everything. I feel like San Antonio is a hotbed in Texas. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah 2-0 shit.
Something in those tortillas, man. But he told me breakfast tacos and barbacoa.
Hell yeah. Nah, that's one thing I miss all the time. I was like, bro, I miss breakfast tacos. Like, and like people don't understand, and so when people go to San Antonio, I tell them like, dude, I was like, find somewhere where they have really good breakfast tacos, and it's like, yeah, you could find them almost everywhere, but yeah, there's not many other places I can find them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What should we expect Saturday, July 19th against the living legend, the now Hall of Famer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao? Big fight on your hands, biggest of your career to date, presumably, but what should we expect?
Just at the end of the night, y'all are gonna hear it and still, uh, yeah, but I got no doubt it's gonna be a great fight. But yeah, make sure to tune in to my fight. Make sure to tune into Bam's also somehow. get both the TVs up or something. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a great night of boxing. All around. Like San Antonio is putting on, and yeah, I'm excited.
Mario, I appreciate it, man. Representing Texas, San Antonio. Good luck, man, and we'll see you down the road. We'll talk to you after the fight.
Oh yeah, Jeff. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.